Am I the asshole? For getting my grandparents to stop my dad giving his second daughter the same name as me? This might be a bit of a weird background, but hang on until I explain. My parents were young when they had me. My mom had no family of her own, and from the age of like 12, when she and my dad first got close, my dad's family became hers too. My parents dated all through high school and had me right after graduating. My mom died in her sleep when I was only 6 months old. She was 19. My dad was never interested in me, and he and my grandparents fought a lot from the time I was born to the time my mom died. They were disgusted with his lack of love or concern for me. They wanted him to be a better father than he was being, and apparently pointed out my mom was the same age as him and had stepped up. But he wasn't interested. After mom died, my grandparents were terrified that my dad would fuck me up. So they made a deal with him. They would get legal custody, they would raise me, and they would give him some money every month for him to do what he liked. I know it sounds strange, but they saw it as a way to keep him from me unless he was serious about being a dad. I never actually saw him at all when I was little. A couple of years ago I saw him from a distance for the first time. He had some woman with him. They later got married. I would see them around but decided to still keep my distance. His wife knew about me before they even married. Now they're having a baby girl, and my aunt was told by the wife that they wanted to name their baby Serenity, which is my name. She spoke to me about it because she wanted to warn me. The second I heard about this, I hated it. I saw so many issues because we would have the exact same name. I have no middle name, and my aunt said they had no plans to use a middle name either. Our last names would be the same too. Plus it felt like the sharing a name could be used by some people to push for me to be in the child's life. I asked my grandparents if they could convince him not to do it. They spoke to him and he was saying he just wanted his wife to be happy. They told him he could forget about the money if he does, since it would be fucking me over. I think my grandparents also hated the idea that he was sending a clear message that he never loved me by just using the name for the kid he wants to raise. My dad ended up backing down. His wife was pissed and she blamed me, even though he said it was my grandparents who intervened. She said she knows I must have said I didn't like it or something, and whatever I did, I was a selfish little C because I took away her chance to name her child what she wanted. She said Serenity was a name she chose when she was little and always wanted to use it. My grandparents came home while she was ranting at me and made her leave. My dad and his wife are no longer welcome at all. I can't get what she said out of my head. So I feel like I need to ask, am I the asshole? Not the asshole. You should be extremely glad your real parents had the foresight to see your bio dad as a total piece of a crap. What a selfish asshole. Please don't take whatever his garbage second wife says to heart. It had nothing to do with you, but it always had everything to do with him. I hope you're doing okay. Children shouldn't have to suffer at the hands of their sperm and or their egg donors. Edit. Damn, seems like everyone hard agrees. Not the asshole. You have every right to feel bad about your half-sibling having the identical name to you. Why are your grandparents still giving him money? Would be better in a college fund for you. Not the asshole. Thank God your grandparents stepped up to raise you. Your sperm donor sounds like a total peach of a guy. The fact that he is willing to be bribed to change the name of his future child means that he hasn't changed. Wonder how long he will stick around after the new baby is born. Because I took away her chance to name her child what she wanted. She said Serenity was a name she chose when she was little and always wanted to use it. Then she shouldn't have had a child with a man who already had a kid with that name. Not the asshole. That's really awful. Cut ties with them altogether. They sound like awful human beings. Good on your grandparents though. Not the asshole. At 16 you're already more mature than your father is now, and well beyond your father's wife. They are absolutely wrong for trying to steal your name. Don't give it a second thought. She's just being abusive because she didn't get her way. Pay her no mind. It's weird for your dad, his partner, to want to give their child the exact same name as his existing child. It's like he's trying to have a do-over. Info: do you have a super common name combination, like Laura, Sarah, Claire, Smith, Jones, etc.? I'm not siding with your dad. Of all the names he could use, it's odd that he picked yours twice. I'm just ruling commonness out of the equation. Most definitely not the arsehole your father and his wife are. I'm so glad to hear your grandparents are backing you and stepped in to raise you. Please don't listen or take anything that awful person said about you to heart. I'd be upset if I had a half-sister given my name. Not the arsehole. Your sperm donor's new wife must be profoundly stupid if she thinks giving her offspring the exact same name as someone else is a good idea. Of course, she did willingly marry and spawn with a man who she knows will drop his spawn faster than a shark. Oh my dear, you are so much not the asshole. It sounds like you have committed, loving grandparents who are willing to do just about anything to protect you from their less than worthy son. And now it sounds like the son has married exactly the woman he deserves. Ignore her ranting. Just think of her as an angry little woman with poor judgment in men and garbage pouring out of her mouth, and stay as far away as you can. She has nothing of value to say to you. Your grandparents are the ones who got it right. Not the asshole. It sounds like they are on a lifelong quest to make you feel awful. Not the asshole. Your grandparents certainly did the right thing keeping him away from you when he refused to step up. This is a man who sold custody of his daughter. This is not strange. It's awful. Never bothered with her. Wanted to give his second child the exact same name as his first. He chose a woman just the same as him. Knowing her husband's oldest child has a name, she wants to use the same one. She then berates a child for her own poor behavior. Do not give these people another thought. Your grandparents know the character of their son and the measure of him. You are not the asshole. Not the asshole. If they choose to move forward, you can consider changing your name. Giving yourself a middle name, possibly taking on your mother's last name. Completely up to you, but you can take control of the situation. Not the asshole. And your dad sucks. It's not your fault that your name is already Serenity. Your mother and father chose it for you when you were a baby. She has no one to blame but him. Furthermore, if you two have the same full name, and same dad, were born and grew up in the same area, it could cause bureaucratic issues for your and your half-sister's entire life, especially if neither of you have a middle name. Not the asshole. Wow. Why would his wife even want to do this if she knows his first child already has that name? So weird and mean. People don't change without a lot of effort. I wouldn't be surprised if this also goes sideways eventually. Completely not the asshole, and you don't owe him anything. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. The sperm donator your mom had seems like rubbish you don't need to hold on to. I wouldn't bother worrying about them anymore. Not the asshole. But your sperm donor and his new wife are massive ones. Props to your amazingly badass grandparents. They are going to help you become a far superior person than your useless donor. Your sperm donor sounds like a family branch that needs to be cut off. Much love to you, and I'm glad your grandparents became her real parents. And obviously, your aunts and uncle think it's weird to call his second daughter the same name. If they do, forever call her Sarah whenever in their presence. Or Serenity too. Also think of all the legal problems. You buy a house but it's in my name FFs. Not the asshole in the slightest. Love.